Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fantactics podcast. Before we dive into the show for today, we want to sincerely apologize to the Fantactics universe for not coming online last week. It was due to some technical glitches in our production, and want to assure you that we have taken steps to ensure that that doesn't happen again. Welcome back to the show. I hope you have been good. I hope you're doing great. I'm here in the studio as usual with my very ebullient co-host, Sabubu Elkun. Welcome back to the show, Sabubu.
Yeah, welcome back. Apologies once again. We begin to wonder why when a black footballer excels, they insult him. He makes a mistake, is insulted. He doesn't score a winning penalty, is insulted. Nigerian footballer.
Yeah, I think, Sabubu, actually the word is not insult, because insult can be it can be tolerated. It's part of the job.
I'm trying not to use that word.
No, it's abuse.
Abuse. Then abuse, in quotes, the word that starts with the R.
No,
becomes like a norm.
Yeah. So now I think it is important that we lend our voice as, members of the footballing community towards the fight of racism. I mean, last week, unfortunately, we weren't able to air the episode we recorded, which, captured the furor around Jamie Carragher's comments about the African Cup of Nations.
Let's going to talk about that.
Yes, and the chances Mohamed Salah has of winning the Ballon d'Or if he wins the tournament or not. He apparently said the competition was not relevant enough to propel him towards the Ballon d'Or.
I look at some football players and when they talk, you begin to laugh. I remember a certain Italian legend, Roberto Baggio, says, "I will never go into punditry." They asked him why. He said, "I see a lot of colleagues that we played football that couldn't make one pass or one trap a ball, telling teams how to play."
Did he call Carragher's name?
That was long time ago. This is like 2-3 years ago.
Okay, but he was prophesying about people like Carragher.
Now look at the particular player that never won the Premiership, telling teams how to win the Premiership.
Never won an international tournament. He's determining which tournaments are important.
He couldn't even get into an English team that had the greats John Terry, Sol Campbell,
the likes.
Rio Ferdinand, Southgate, and
Southgate wasn't even that impressive in his day, but he couldn't even get in ahead of players like that.
And his national team, well, we know. Let's not say anything about them, but lately they've been trying to push for international trophies. Thank God he's not even playing, because I can imagine what would have happened.
No, of course he's not going to get into any England 11. According to Jose Mourinho, Carragher is not even among the top 1,000 defenders of his time. Talking about Mourinho was also, involved or entangled in a furor around racism, accusing him of being a racist. Of course, Mourinho wouldn't have to defend himself, because his love for African players has been documented.
The first thing Mourinho tells you is, if you want to win a trophy with a top European club, get an African striker.
Get in an African spine. And, his legacy with building and, training African footballers is well documented. He also went ahead to, he was also defended by some of the players that he coached. And which, of course, brings us to the topic for today, which involves Calvin Bassey of Fulham, our Super Eagles defender, who was racially abused after, scoring against Manchester United in the FA Cup, and then Manchester United were subsequently dumped out via penalties.
We all know where the racism was coming from which fans they are coming from.
No, I wouldn't like to say Man United fans are racist. No, racists are racist.
Yes, I'm not saying the Man United, but now that something like this happened, the racists or the people that chanting the racial, whatever they call it, are from a particular set of their fans.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we have seen that, and we don't want to spend the whole of the show talking about racism. But I think, especially in this age and in this time, unfortunately also in England, because we saw something happen at Crystal Palace when Mateta was, karate kicked by
The goalkeeper.
of Millwall, and fans were chanting, "Let him die." I mean, we shouldn't be seeing this in the game and in this age. It is something that needs to be worked on. I believe the FA needs to take steps to punish offenders, to make sure that clubs get to pay penalties for all this, and they need to find those guys that racially abused.
The irony of the whole thing is we feel for them, and on behalf of the Fantastic crew,
yes,
we send our love, our wishes to Calvin Bassey, to Mateta and all.
Yeah.
So let's get down to what happened over the weekend. Let's start from Spain, where some teams are not willing to go to the top of the table, and we are seeing it. And some players have come back to redeem themselves at the clubs they've gone to.
Yeah.
Real Madrid scored first and ended up losing the game. And
it was orchestrated
by a
castaway.
So
the stone which the bidders rejected.
A player that they said was not good enough.
Yes.
Apparently he scored and he did an Emmanuel Adebayo style of celebration. At the end of the day, he said it was a spur of the moment. He apologized. What he did has been done, and the
message has been sent.
And the internet never forgets.
So Isco scored and assisted actually,
yes.
And you can say he was the architect of Madrid's downfall. And unfortunately, you
remember a 70 million pound player that has turned to Maradona now.
Indeed. So like I said, for that game, you want to see competition, but La Liga is throwing a lot of.
For the first time, we are seeing a real championship.
Yes.
A real title race where indeed. Everybody is today I'm on top, tomorrow I'm below.
Yeah.
As it is, Barca are on top.
On top, yes.
And they won Sociedad. We didn't even expect the scoreline.
No, it was due to the red card though. It was an early red card, I think, in the 17th minute.
But the bottom line is, Sociedad they don't crumble the way they did.
No,
but it's a Barca
they actually
team.
Came out. In the early stages of that game, they really took the game to Barcelona, and it was setting up to be a very competitive match. But I mean, a red card in the 17 minutes against a very tenacious, and I don't know how to put them. They are like hunting dogs, Barcelona. So you go collect. That's the word, and they collected.
Let's use this phrase: Barcelona are like pit bulls that can smell fear from afar.
Yes, so and sharks that smell blood.
So that was it.
Yes.
Atletico Madrid won against Athletic Club Bilbao.
Yeah, talking about the 70 million pound player that is now Maradona, and Alvarez is really tearing La Liga apart.
Is playing. In fact, I don't want to talk about another club. I prefer not to talk about it. But
you sound like Mourinho, sir.
Because look at the players that have left a particular club.
Call the name of the club, please. We know. Let's not pretend not to know what we are.
The players are doing. If there's a word, wonderfully great.
Wonderfully great. Okay, please call some of the players. Let's know. We might be able to deduce which club you are talking about.
So Atletico Madrid won. Then we go to Germany, where Bayern Munich has told the whole Germany and Europe that
forget it.
We're taking our Bundesliga back.
Forget it. Forget it.
Harry Kane might finally break the hoodoo of winning a trophy.
Yes, congratulations to another 3 points on the way to the title. A very beautiful game. Olise was very instrumental to their performance.
I think that is one of the buy of the seasons in Germany.
Yes. I don't think it's just in Germany, in the whole of Europe.
Because everybody saw him and felt it wasn't good enough. But you see the good thing about having a coach that has coached in a particular league. He has seen the strength of Olise.
The potential,
saw the potential. I said, okay, you know what? And when he went for him, there was no competition there.
Yes.
But remember, if it was to be a Chelsea or an Arsenal or a City or a Liverpool that wanted him, they would have paid times 2.
They might have paid much more.
Then our guys won. Leverkusen won 4-1 at Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Dortmund finally won.
Yeah, I think Dortmund are finally in recovery.
Yeah,
Kovac has come in and he's steadying the ship. So
Kovac, he used to be the former coach of Bayern.
Yes,
and AS Monaco.
He had a very ill-fated stint at Bayern.
There's a team I wanted to just talk about in 1 minute or 30 seconds.
Yeah.
What is wrong with RB Leipzig? They lost at home to Mainz.
Yeah.
1-2.
So I was actually speaking with an investor. Osas, how far now? So I was telling him on Saturday morning, I said, look, forget about the history of Mainz, the head-to-head, because somebody was telling him, no, the Leipzig head-to-head with Mainz. I said, look, those guys are suffering a malaise this season. They are not looking like themselves. And honestly, sometimes you just can't explain this. It's happening to them, and they just have to figure out how to drag themselves.
They might not finish in the Champions League position,
places,
and
yes.
makes things a lot easier for a club in London that needs one of their strikers.
Okay, yeah.
Benjamin Sesko.
I think away from Sesko, if you can get Openda, you would be better served.
Then for Syria, Atlanta again played a new draw at home.
So apparently, if Madrid did not get you, Atlanta would have gotten you.
Then Napoli and Inter played 1-1.
Yeah.
Now this is the 4th draw in 5 games for Napoli.
Yeah.
It's obvious that they are losing grip of the Serie A title.
Yes.
So,
they are falling behind because they are struggling to score goals. We always know that Conte's teams are defensively solid, but we cannot really tell about the attacking prowess because sometimes it just clicks.
Are you
sometimes
saying they're missing? Do you think they're missing Victor?
There's nothing like if I think.
They are.
Napoli would have been in a much better
with
place
the kind
if
of
they had
coach they have.
Yes, the kind of striker he is, the physicality, the hunger, the drive. I mean,
let's go to the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Saturday we'll just run through the results and we'll talk about the top matches that took place. Crystal Palace won 3-1 to Millwall.
Yeah.
We are happy that Mateta didn't die as they wanted. Some people wanted him to die.
Yes, he's doing. Although he got 1,001 stitches, I'm just exaggerating.
Preston North End beat Burnley 3-0, which was a shocker.
Yes, it was a surprising.
Then Bournemouth and Wolves. What was the match of Saturday?
Yeah.
It was a classic Premiership match, 1-1. Bournemouth winning via penalties. Then Man City had a early scare against Plymouth. And Plymouth scored first, but they ended up giving them.
They plied them out. Yes.
Then on Sunday, the FA Cup, we had the classic in Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And the classic at St. James Park, where Newcastle lost after extra time to Brighton.
Yeah.
Then Manchester United had to come from behind and still lost the match via penalty. And our beloved Calvin Bassey was racially abused.
Yes, he was racially abused. Yeah, that's the fact. I mean, an opposition's player is paid to do his job. And Calvin did his job and even did an extra because his job is majorly defending, but he scored for his team. To get abused because your own team is incompetent just goes to show how stupid racism is based. I'm not talking about even the color of your skin. You are abusing a player because he scored against your team to dump you out.
Your team should have played better.
I mean,
even if your team is not playing better, you don't have the right to insult
go
people.
at another person. And anyways, like we have said, we stand with Calvin Bassey, and racism has no place in football. We'll continue lending our voice to that discourse to ensure that football is a sane environment for everybody and we enjoy the game as we usually do.
There are 2 intriguing matches in Italy that took place yesterday.
Yeah.
AS Roma beating Como 2-1. Como has been the giant killers.
Yeah.
In fact, they embarrassed two of the big teams in
Italy recently.
But I don't know what.
Yeah. So about that match, because
your man is doing wonders.
I watched part of that game, and I want to say that although Como lost that match,
they played well.
They can hold their head very high. Look, Cesc Fabregas is going to be a top manager. You can mark my words. Fabregas is doing an excellent job, and like we said, a lot of players go about running their mouths. Give them a club to coach, they can't do nothing.
The same club that their fans are racially abusing the great. I call him a great player because I like his maturity, the way he responded.
He's a giant. He's a giant indeed.
They have one of their player that is a pundit that makes noise from now till tomorrow was the coach of one of the 4th or 5th biggest clubs in Spain. We saw what happened to him. And now one was a coach. In less than 30 days, he ran away.
So, like we said, it's not about just running your mouth. And kudos to Fabregas. He's doing a good job. He's already been linked with top jobs. AC Milan are currently evaluating. They are evaluating appointing him because Consecao.
The kind of players Milan has and with the kind of raw talent Fabregas has, he has raw talent. he's poised to get to the
Yes,
top.
yes.
But he came against an old head.
Yeah, in Ranieri. Ranieri himself is also overseeing a renaissance
A revival.
in Roma, yes.
Yeah.
And that's also kudos to him. It's, you look at some coaches and you think they are dinosaurs, but Roma played wonderfully well. They managed the game with experience. That's where you see an experienced manager.
Without defeat.
So
then finally, Milan lost at home. Our Nigerian winger Chukwueze scored, but they lost to Lazio. Lazio have been playing very, very well.
Yeah. So, like I said, Consecao has, Milan has been disappointing this season from Fonseca to Consecao, and they can't seem to get down to the reason why everything is going apart for them. But, I mean, let's see what happens at the end of the season. Unfortunately for them, they might not make Europe, which will be a disaster to them financially.
It's going to be in Italy.
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of coach merry-go-round.
Like yeah. Rondo.
Because as it is, Fabregas is likely going to be the talk of the season by the end.
Yeah. So let's see what happens with that. We are going to go for a short break. When we come back, the Champions League is coming up this week. We are going to see the round of 16 fixtures, not just the Champions League, the Europa League and the Conference League. For those that play in the Conference League. So when we come back from this short break, we'll be diving into the fixtures that are yet to come. Don't go anywhere.
The Champions League is back. We have blockbuster matches, and for the first time in a very long time, in the round of 16, two teams from the same country will meet each other. And it's obvious Germany and Spain will lose one team.
Yes.
For no reason.
For no reason. Apart from the fact that they use seeding system.
They use seeding system.
I don't know which seed UEFA went to seed now. But of course, it's going to be a spectacle.
Yes.
And one that the neutrals will be looking forward to. Unfortunately for their UEFA coefficient ranking of their leagues, they would have had an opportunity to sneak in two teams into the quarterfinals, semi-finals, but it's not going to be. And
I think it was done on purpose, so they don't have that leverage. I'm just saying. So Club Brugge will take on Aston Villa in Belgium. Borussia Dortmund will take on Lille. PSV and Eindhoven will take on Arsenal in Holland. And Real Madrid will play Atletico Madrid, which is a Madrid derby.
Yeah.
A quick one.
Yeah.
Club Brugge and Aston Villa, first leg, Belgium.
Club Brugge will likely be underrated, and I believe they could spring.
They are very dangerous.
They will spring some surprises. So I will go with a Brugge win or draw.
Remember, they met each other in the group stage, and Club Brugge beat Aston Villa.
So I'm saying a win or draw for Brugge.
What about Borussia Dortmund and Lille?
Borussia Dortmund, Lille, I will go with maybe goals from both sides.
I go with a Borussia Dortmund win or draw.
Okay.
PSV and Eindhoven and Arsenal.
Arsenal are looking out of sorts right now, to be honest. They can't
Every
get
part
goals
of that team is perfect, apart from forward line.
From the forward line, and getting goals is important.
Yeah.
So I would go with a PSV win or draw.
Same here. Then Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid. It will be more of a tactical masterclass from two good coaches.
Yeah.
An Italian who can be very pragmatic, at the same time can be very offensive. He's very, very, Ancelotti is very unpredictable lately.
Yeah, Don Carlo is the Don for a reason.
Then for Simeone, he unleashes drama and war as far as I'm concerned.
So you would expect a very compact Atletico Madrid, and you would expect a very reactive Madrid, like Real Madrid. They will be looking at exploiting some moments in the game, because Real Madrid play in moments. And then, of course, the Champions League is their playground. So you expect them to come alive from the 80th minute. Them and Leverkusen, that's their time. So from the 60th, 70th minute, it's going to be a very cagey affair. Atletico will be defending for their lives. So I'll look at a Madrid win or draw.
And I know the good thing about where the competition has gotten to is no more away goals rules. So everybody is scoring for the fun of it and defending for the fun of it.
So the thing is, even though there are no away goals rule, having the home advantage, your fans behind you, it's your ground, it's your stadium, you can create and generate an atmosphere to intimidate your opponents. It's also an advantage. So, you won't expect Atletico to be very welcome at the Bernabeu. No, there won't be. So it will also affect the way they play the game. They will also be looking to return the favor at the Metropolitano and ensure that Real are not very comfortable. So it's going to be a very dicey one, like I said.
Then the Wednesday fixtures, we have Feyenoord versus Inter Milan, Bayern Munich versus Bayern Leverkusen, which is a German derby.
Yeah.
Then another repeated match from the group stage, Benfica, Barcelona. Then the cream de la cream of the fixtures of Wednesday is Paris Saint-Germain versus Liverpool.
Yeah.
Remember, in the past 10 games, Paris has scored 40 goals. 40
goals in 10 games. Of course, the Liverpool juggernaut is also rolling on nicely. Let's start from Inter Milan Feyenoord. Feyenoord will be buoyed by the fact that they overcame one Milan team.
To face another Milan team.
Yes, to face another Milan team. But unfortunately for them, they are going to meet a different breed of Milanese. So I'll be backing Inter to get a win or a draw.
I look at the win or draw.
Yes.
Then for Bayern Munich and Leverkusen, I'm seeing a Bayern win in this match.
It's not about seeing a Bayern win. It's a Bayern win. Although, of course, they have played out draws in their previous encounters. So it's very cagey, yes. But I would say Bayern should get a win. But both sides to score is also a very safe...
Benfica and Barcelona.
That's another high-scoring game.
So both teams to score.
Both teams to score.
Then PSG and Liverpool.
PSG, Liverpool. I'll back PSG to get the win or a draw.
Something tells me PSG will beat
PSG
Liverpool.
Win or draw. They have been very impressive of late. And I know Liverpool have also been impressive in their own right. But, you kind of feel like the workload is getting to them right now. They are looking a little bit leggy. They are struggling just a wee bit. And, the excellence of PSG just might edge it around this time.
Another thing I noticed about PSG is I think the players now finally bought into the Enrique blueprint.
Now, let's get it straight.
And
there's a man that is on form right now, and
Dembele,
due to a tactical tweak,
yeah.
He's now playing through the middle, and he has been scoring goals for fun. So that's something to watch out for. He's going to stretch the Liverpool backline, keep Konate and
another thing that Enrique sold to the management of PSG was, get me young players and let me breed them.
Yeah, more teamwork, less individualism.
He didn't go for high-profile players this season, apart from the Napoli guy that was bought.
Yeah,
which is a master stroke for them.
Yeah.
Because now he's creating chances for the team.
I actually was of the opinion that PSG didn't need him, which they actually didn't. They had Doué, they had Bakola, but just creating chaos from both flanks because they have moved Dembele into the middle. They can now afford to play a very fluid front line of players that can interchange and play anywhere across that front line.
So let's go to the Thursday night, boys.
Yeah.
Europa League round of 16. AZ Alkmaar, Spurs, FSB Lyon, Fenerbahce, Rangers, Real Sociedad, Manchester United, AS Roma Athletic Club. This is like a repeat of the group stage. Ajax Frankfurt, then Bodo Glimt versus Olympiacos, then Victoria Pesk versus Lazio. Just pick three matches from there. The Manchester match, AS Roma match, and possibly Fenerbahce match because of a man we kind of love, Mourinho.
Look, one of my friends who is a Manchester United fan has been calling me Amos. He says I'm a prophet of doom. Doom has come again. Unfortunately, I don't see Manchester United making much progress in the Europa League against Sociedad. It's going to be suicidal for them.
Something tells me Sociedad will qualify for both legs.
Yes. I'm backing Sociedad to overcome Manchester United, and they'll likely get the win at home because I just don't see Manchester United doing it. But I would say both sides to score just to leave room for.
What about AZ Alkmaar Tottenham? I look at both sides to score.
Yeah, both sides to score. Because I can't trust Tottenham.
Then I give Fenerbahce a straight win against Rangers.
I would go with you. Osimhen, and Galatasaray. Oh, sorry. So that's Fenerbahce and Mourinho. You back his team to get it. They are specialists in knockout football.
Is it that Galatasaray didn't make it for the round of 16?
They didn't.
Okay, they were knocked out.
They were dumped out.
They were knocked out by that scoreline of 4-1 in the first leg.
Yes.
Then let's talk about two teams in the Conference League: FC Copenhagen and Chelsea, and Real Betis versus Victoria Guimaraes.
Fiorentina also playing Panathinaikos, which is another, top. Out of those three teams, you'll be looking at the finalists coming from those fixtures, all things being equal. But I would say Chelsea should get a win. It's going to be difficult for them. It's going to be a low-scoring game, probably under 3.5. But Chelsea should get the win against Copenhagen. Betis should get a win against Guimaraes, and Panathinaikos, Fiorentina, I would say a win or draw for Fiorentina. Okay,
so let's go to the weekend fixtures in the Premiership. The lunchtime kickoff starts with Nottingham Forest versus Manchester City. After that, we have the goal rush, where Brighton takes on Fulham, Crystal Palace, Ipswich Town, Liverpool, Southampton, and Brentford will take on Aston Villa. Then the late this fixture is Wolves versus Everton.
Yeah.
So let's run through it because of time.
Manchester City, Forest. I would go with the Forest win or draw.
I'll go with the City win or draw.
Okay.
Brighton, Fulham.
I'll go with the Brighton win or draw.
Same here. Crystal Palace, Ipswich Town.
Crystal Palace, Ipswich. I would go with the Palace. A straight win for Palace.
Same here. Liverpool, Southampton.
Southampton is going to be a drop-in.
Then Fulham, Aston Villa.
Fulham, Aston Villa. Yes, there are going to be goals, but
we don't know the mindset Aston Villa would come in on that match.
I'll be backing Brentford though.
Same
no
here.
matter what they bring to the table.
Yeah,
win or draw for Brentford.
Then Wolves, Everton. Wolves are fighting for their lives.
They are fighting for their lives, and they look, exciting in bits and pieces, but Everton look more solid. They have been picking up points consistently after Moyes came on board. So I'll be backing them to get a win or draw.
Then in Spain, Barcelona will play Osasuna.
These are the kind of fixtures where Barcelona just go and do something we don't know.
Something very drastic.
Yeah, but they have a little bit of brittle between their teeth. Madrid has lost points, so they'll be looking at creating a little breathing space. Okay. So I'll back them to get a straight win.
Then in Germany, 3 of the teams in the Champions League are playing on Saturday. At the same time, Bayern Leverkusen will play Werder Bremen, Bayern Munich will play VfL Bochum, and Borussia Dortmund will play Augsburg.
Yeah, so in the form, like I said, Dortmund are getting some consistency since Kovac came on board, so you back them with a win or draw against Augsburg. Leverkusen, I'll back them with a straight win over Bremen, and Bayern Munich, of course, a straight win also against.
Then in Serie A, we have Como will take on Venezia. Como is now becoming like our Atlanta of before.
Yeah,
everybody tend to like the way they play.
Yeah.
And I see a straight win for them.
Yeah, straight win. I'll go
then
the same.
Let's talk about the 2 Milan teams.
Yeah.
They have different contrasts of situations that are affecting them. Milan is going to Lecce.
Yeah.
They need to win that match. Then Inter are playing at home against Monza. We all know the Inter that we will see.
Yeah.
They can play not a very strong squad and they'll still beat Monza. Yeah. We know that very well.
Monza are also a problem side for most teams though, but like you said, Inter are pretty solid. They know how to take care of business, and you could back them fairly consistently to exploit teams like the likes of Monza. So you'll be looking at them. Monza is also challenging for Europe, by the way, so they will be tough, but Inter will get their result.
Then what about Lecce and AC?
AC Milan need a result, doesn't mean they'll get it. Okay. They are looking out of sorts, but you could do a safe bet of an AC Milan win or draw.
Then in France, PSG are playing away to Rennes. They can afford to lose that match. Trust me. Because they have
their eyes are on the Champions League.
They have over a 10 points
gap.
The team that needs to win their match is Marseille.
I'll still back Marseille to get the job done against Lens.
Okay.
And I also back PSG. PSG have enough depth in their squad to fill a second 11 and still get the job done against Rennes. So I'll still back them with a win or a draw.
So
worst case.
Okay, let's go to Super Sunday. Chelsea starts Super Sunday. They will play at the same time with another London team. Chelsea play at home against Leicester. Tottenham Hotspur plays Bournemouth. Then it lets the Super Sunday clashes. Manchester United versus Arsenal. I'm going for a Chelsea straight win against Leicester. I don't know about you.
Yeah, like I said, I forgot we didn't air it last week. Maresca not getting the job done against Southampton and Leicester. You would hear more calls for his sack. He got the job done against Southampton, so you'll be looking at another straight win against Leicester.
Spurs and Bournemouth.
Spurs, Bournemouth. I'll back Bournemouth with a win or draw.
Both teams to score.
Yeah.
Then Man United was Arsenal.
Yeah, Sabubu said it's Super Sunday, and unfortunately, both teams don't have the the normal aura they used to have in their heyday. I mean, Arsenal are still second on the table. There's no title challenge anymore. Talk of that has died down, unfortunately. But you still expect a spectacle because that rivalry is something that brings out the best in both sides. So it's going to be a cagey affair. Arsenal are there for the taking. They are vulnerable to an extent. Manchester United have everything to lose and nothing to lose. So I'll still back both teams to score. But in a classic case of two teams cancelling themselves out, I would say it would be a draw.
Okay, then in Spain, the big teams are mostly going to be at home. So investors invest wisely. Apart from Madrid
Atletico Madrid
are away to
Getafe.
Getafe.
Yeah.
Madrid are home to Real Vallecano. Athletic Club Bilbao are home to Mallorca.
Yeah.
Real Betis are home to Las Palmas, and Real Sociedad are home to Seville.
Yeah. So, this is in Spain, I think this is where we are going to see a hangover from the Champions League. I don't know. Both teams have very exciting second 11s. They have good strikers on the bench. They have good midfielders. But will they be able to get the job done? That's what we don't know because their eyes will definitely be on the return leg.
So I tell all investors, all home teams play home teams to win or draw and move on. Then in Italy, Napoli plays Fiorentina. Empoli plays AS Roma, and Juventus versus Atlanta. The late kickoff.
Two teams that are disappointing their investors seriously.
They are flattering to deceive.
Yeah, flattering to deceive. Juventus Atlanta, I would say that match is likely to be a draw. It's likely to be a draw.
Juventus win or draw.
It's likely to be a draw because both teams are struggling to.
But something tells me Napoli will beat Fiorentina.
Napoli, Fiorentina. Sure, I would also back Napoli. They have gone without 3 points in some games, and Conte will be trying to rectify that. So, but I'll still say a win or draw just to be on the safe side. David De Gea might decide to kill Goliath.
Then the last match for Monday, which is a late kickoff or Monday Night Football as we call it, West Ham Newcastle.
Well, I'll back Newcastle to get 3 points.
So I give it to West Ham.
You give it to West Ham.
They're playing at home and they'll be playing well.
No, they have been playing well, but
Newcastle are out of sorts when they go away from home. And in the FA Cup, only God knows what just happened to them that day.
Well, it happened. But Newcastle have always shown that they have the guts, the cojones, and the ability to bounce back from disappointing results. So we'll be looking at what is going to go down in that match. I would say both teams to score is safe. But Sabubu backs West Ham and I back Newcastle. We are going to come back next week on the show and then we'll be able to, by God's grace, we will be able to, see what happened over those fixtures, discuss some of the talking points with you, and of course, have fun on the show as we usually do. We want to take some time out also to wish our Muslim viewers and followers
Ramadan
Kareem. You have a lovely fast, and we pray that the Almighty will answer all our prayers, continue to help us to become better versions of ourselves and better members of the society.
To our Muslim brothers, as you fast, once you feel that niche or that hunger trying to play in your stomach, just go watch us on Fantastics. It will give you joy.
Sabubu, the way you are saying this thing, it will be as if we provide so much satisfaction they would have broken their fast.
No. At least we what we talk here is what everybody wants to hear.
Yeah.
I've come to understand something about punditry analysis is people want to hear different people's views on different football issues.
Yeah.
I can tell you for a fact that someone that watches us would have watched like 3 other podcasts and say, okay, Renz and Sabubu, this is what they said. No.
Let's go and hear from
the other guys. It's like that then because the world is a global village. Everybody wants to hear what everybody is saying.
Yeah.
It's more of self-gratification everybody is pursuing.
Yeah.
So we hope for the best. We thank you for the subscriptions that we are seeing, the viewership, the followership on Facebook. Continue to support us. we would appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you very much for all your support. Like Sabubu said, it's all about hearing various and different views. We encourage you to also share your view with us on the issues that we have discussed on the podcast. Step into the comment section. Drop your likes, drop your comments, drop your banters. Let's interact. We want to hear from you the same way you're hearing from us. Until we come back next week with more and better. This is the Fantactics podcast. Stay blessed.